Hello everyone. I wanted to do this video because we're in fall. We're officially in fall now. It's going to be getting colder. It's going to be getting cooler. I want to warn the ladies because it's been on the YouTube streets, and I actually wanted to give my 2 cents and my opinions because there are different types of topics that are on YouTube that are and I'll be like, I'll take an interest in that and be like, what, let me learn a little more about that, or and then I decide whether I do or don't want to give my opinion or not. This particular one, this needs a lot of attention. I don't know if some of y'all know, but this is the season. This is hobosexual season. I'm not talking about homosexual, hobosexual. A hobosexual is a dude who, he's broke, he ain't got no money, he ain't got no car, and he doesn't have a place to live. And he's going to be attempting, a lot of these men are out and about and they're rampant right now trying to look for women that they can live with, rent free. Don't let no man move into your house. If he is at and above a certain age and he doesn't have bare minimum his own place and his own vehicle, you ain't got no business talking to him. I have been amazed at even my own friends telling me, I've had friends tell me that they've moved men into their house, paying his bills, paid his way through this and that and the third, paying for this, paying for that. I couldn't imagine. I'm gonna be real, I'm not used to that. And I need us to stop doing that because these men, they'll let you do that, but eventually they're gonna up and leave you. They're gonna end up cheating on you with somebody else. They're gonna end up leaving you. Because men know deep down they're supposed to be the providers. They know this. And so when you, the woman, take the provider role, these men are going to take advantage of it, and plus they're not going to respect you. They're not going to respect you because they know deep down that's what they're supposed to be doing. But of course they'll let you do it because they're manipulators. And most people are not going to turn down someone else paying for the bills, giving them money, letting them live, you letting them live in your house free. They get to use your vehicle, or I've heard women buying these men vehicles. That blew my whole mind. I couldn't imagine doing that much for a dude. I just would never do it. I'm just not accustomed to that. So be aware. It's the season for that. It's getting cold. This is the high season for it. Tax season is also another time of the year when they want to come around. And they'll be around for a little while, and then they'll leave when it gets warm. So be aware. Don't let nobody move in your house. Any man that shows any desire to want to move into your house, he shows any signs of trying to rush into a relationship, run for the fucking hills, cut him off. I don't mean to cuss, I'm sorry. But I'm just saying, I'm just trying to stress how important this is. Any men that want to spin the block on you, also, do not let those men come back. This bears repeating, this bears reminding. This is for people's safety. Any man that wants to spin the block on you, do not let him come back. Any man that tries to slide back in your DMs, tries to reach out to you after you done blocked him on everything, cut it off. If you have to get the police involved, do that. Collect evidence so that way you can maybe get a restraining order, have him arrested, press charges, do what you got to do. The world is getting more and more unsafe. Not all men, but there are a certain group of men that are red pill, MGTOW, black pill, purple pill. So many pills, you would think these men were drug addicts, and a lot of them are, because a lot of them do have one or more addictions. So don't let them come back, because a lot of them, they're coming back because if they didn't destroy you the first time, the intent is to destroy you the next time you let them back in. Or if they did destroy you the first time and you've healed and you're doing better, they want to come back and they want to finish the job. Don't let them do it. Many of these people have murderous intent. Do not get yourself removed from this earth and sent to meet Jesus earlier than what you're supposed to because you let the wrong person in your house. Treat these vampires the way they need to be treated. Do not let them in your house. They can only come in unless they're invited. Anoint yourself. Anoint your. I'm going to say it. Anoint your whole house to keep these demons at bay. Keep these demons gone. Pray against monitoring spirits, because that's what a lot of these people are. They're monitoring spirits. They're predatory. Monitoring spirits is when, let's say, you've cut a person off. Maybe you were romantic with them. Maybe you weren't. You had a relationship. Maybe you didn't. You cut them off because you've seen the red flags, or you just got tired of the bull. You cut them off, and now they're trying to spin the block, or they're stalking you on social media, trying to figure out ways to come back, because that's what vampires do. Blood drinkers, energy vampires in this case, because as far as we know, they're not blood drinkers yet. But if things don't, you know, I believe that they will cross the threshold eventually. That's another video. Anoint your house. Pray against monitoring spirits. Monitoring spirits constantly watching you, stalking, predatory spirits. Pray that those monitoring spirits be destroyed by the fire of God. Let them be made blind, deaf, and dumb in the name of Jesus. Because there are people out here with evil intent. And don't also have a calling on your life, because you're going to especially be a target. That's why it's very important for you to know who you are in the Lord. Because when you know who you are in God, you know what your gifts are for. You protect them as much as you can. You need to protect what God has given you, what is on the inside of you. You got to do that. I've had a couple of dreams, and I have not shared in detail what those dreams are. I'll probably do a separate video on those. But I've had 2 dreams in the last few weeks where there were warning dreams about being mindful of hidden dangers that you do not see. This is one of them hidden dangers. Pray that God expose who isn't really for you. Don't let nobody play in your face. As human beings, we can only see so much, so you have to allow God to open your spiritual eyes so that you can see who is and who really isn't for you. Cut off the people that are not for you. Cut them off, get rid of them, let them go. It's not your job to fix what you didn't break. I'm not saying all men are like this, but I'm talking about the ones that are like this. If this doesn't, as a man, if it don't apply to you, don't worry about it. But there are, I had a hobosexual recently try me. Because I'm in a single, y'all, I gotta tell you, I'm in a singles group. And so I'm talking to different men in the group. Yep, Miranda's talking to other men. And he showed signs of being a homosexual. The signs were apparent, he got blocked. Block him. That's why I keep saying, men get a little nervous and they quake in their boots when I tell them that I'm very quick to block people. I mean it. Because there are people out here, they have given themselves over to the devil and demons. Monitoring spirits are one of the many spirits that are in narcissistic, sociopathic, psychopathic cluster Bs. These people are, and like I said, I follow many different prophetic ministers in the prophetic seer anointed deliverance ministry, and their focus is narcissism and cluster B type personalities. And the general consensus is that these people are potentially, we're dealing with legion. Like that man in the New Testament in the Bible, Jesus had to cast out all those demons. That's between 10 and 20,000 demons. And the general agreement and consensus is that cluster B personalities are more than likely possessed, are legion. They're possessed by legion. Jezebel being the chief high-ranking spirit, it carries with it many other high-ranking demons. So there are many, many, many demons in one person, high-ranking, low-ranking, medium, all in between. Monitoring spirits are one of them. Cluster B personalities like to monitor you. They like to monitor you so that way they can sabotage you, which is the spirit of sabotage. The spirit of sabotage also accompanies a cluster B personality. Because if you notice, cluster B personalities, they sabotage themselves. So if they sabotage themselves, by the way, that's the spirit of sabotage. I'm saying that again so you get an understanding. So if they're sabotaging themselves, they're going to do the same for you, because misery loves company. Steer clear of these people. Run for the hills. Keep them away from you. I also want to bring up another thing. I had mentioned that in my family, we all seem to manifest the gift of the seer and prophetic anointing. I had my older sister, this was years ago, she had a dream where, I'm not going to mention any names, but she had a dream where there was someone who came to our house. This is when we were much younger. And my parents opened the door. They were going to let this person in. I'm not going to say who this person is. I'm not going to say any names. And my sister said in the dream, she was begging mom and dad, do not let that person in. Do not let that person in. But I guess my parents ignored her. They let this person in, and a whole bunch of demons came in the house. This was a dream. Lo and behold, did something like this actually happen? Kind of. Not exactly like that, but my parents were able to figure out what that dream eventually meant. About a certain person that was let in, and lo and behold, ending up finding out that that person was involved in things that they should have been involved in. So be careful who you let in your home. Be careful who you hang out with. You need to ask God to strengthen your discernment. Have boundaries. That's why I said, at any moment a person breathes wrong in my direction if I've laid down a boundary, I've said I'm not going to do something, and you're trying to get me to go against my boundaries, that's a block. Automatic block. Don't talk to anybody who doesn't respect your boundaries, or they get upset, or they get a little attitude, and they breathe, huffy puffy, breathing funny, walking with an attitude, face got an attitude, everything has an attitude. The body language says if they're not happy, block them, cut them off. They don't like you. People need to learn to accept when a person does not like you. When a person stop believing people when they say that they love you. Because if a person says that they love you and their behavior and their behavior shows something else, they're lying. Actions speak louder than words. If you love me, you won't threaten me with another woman. You won't cheat on me. You won't verbally abuse me. You won't put your hands on me. Bottom line is, if you love me, you'll treat me the way I deserve to be treated. But there are men out here that have messed with women's minds to such a degree that they will misuse and abuse you, cheat on you, beat on you. And women think, oh, but I know he loves me. Ma'am, he does not love you. He does not. Homosexuals can be very abusive. Leave them alone. They can get violent if, let's say you let them move in and, you start trying to kick them out, they can get violent. Now, I've never experienced a homosexual, and I hope to never. The reason why I've never experienced one is because I keep people around me in my circle that warn me about this stuff. I didn't even know what a homosexual was. I keep people around me. I keep educating myself, because you have to understand something. When God put me on the trail of learning about narcissism, homosexual eventually came up, because a lot of homosexuals are actually narcissistic. You have to understand that once I got on the path of learning what narcissism was, all these other terms I began to learn. Now, I will say this: when I was much younger, what I knew about a homosexual, I didn't know to call it a homosexual, but what I do know is, when I was much younger, there was this black woman, I don't remember her name, but it was somebody that I met once. And she pretty much warned me about what a homosexual was. She didn't call it a homosexual back then. The phrase had not been coined. She called these men poverty dick. Excuse my language. Poverty wee wee. Am I not supposed to say that? I'm sorry. Okay. Well, anyway, that's what she called it. The community wee wee, the poverty, And she warned me about this. She said, you want to be careful with men like that, because those are the types of men, she said, their abilities in the sack are so good that they'll have you about ready to go to jail for it. And I was like, this is what she told me. Yeah, this is a beautiful black queen warned me. That's exactly what she told me. She didn't sugarcoat nothing. She kept it real. And I was like, oh, I've never heard of such a thing, but she explained it to me. And she said, it'd be these are the types of dudes that'll move into your house. See, they're excellent in bed because they need a place to live, so they're using the nether region to get what they want. I'd call it kind of a form of prostitution, if you will. So of course, when they get to be at and above my age, you can pretty well guess that they're going to be they're good, and they're good in the sheets. And she says they're so good. In fact, and matter of fact, it's actually been proven time and time again, because I was able to put two and two together, that a lot of cluster B personalities, narcissistic, sociopathic, psychopathic, these demon-possessed individuals, yeah, they're good in bed, I've heard. I wouldn't know, because I ain't been with none of these people. This is why I keep telling y'all that I'm not active, I'm not experienced, and I'm shameless about it because this black woman taught me this lesson. I've carried it with me everywhere I go. And I'm almost 40, and I still remember this lesson. I'm teaching it to you now. I mean, cluster B personalities, dark triad personalities are excellent in bed because they sleep around. This is why I've said time and time again, don't be sleeping around with these people. They have sexually transmitted demons, for a fact. That's why they act the way that they do. And then STIs are at an all-time high now. So you don't want to let no hobosexual into your house. You don't want to let a man that you've had to cut off, or let's say he discarded you. You don't want to let him come back because these people be coming back with vengeance. One of the ways that they may try to destroy you is giving you an STD. Do not do it. If you had to cut him off because he was in some shenanigans, cut it off, leave him alone, don't do it. You need to get yourself looked at and checked. Do what you got to do. Keep yourself safe. I know everybody is not everybody is abstinent or celibate, and I get it, but just saying, it's dangerous out here. I've learned that apparently Lawton, Oklahoma has gone up 600% when it comes to STDs. Syphilis is apparently the main thing. And I'm like, I learned that. I'm like, oh my God. But anyway, back to what that black woman taught me. What she taught me was wise words. Now I can come to you and teach you. But now in modern day, we have a term. It is called hobosexual. Do not let these people in your house. Men that want to do 50-50, hobosexual. Don't do it. Cut them off. Cut them off. Because a lot of these men, they're going to talk about 50-50, but what they want is they want you to pay half the bills, him pay half the bills, but yet you're going to be expected to do all the cooking, all the cleaning. If you have kids, you got to do all the child rearing. He's not going to do half the labor, so don't do it. Cut it off. Cut it off. I know people will try to tell you that in modern day, and some people will try to say, well, you know, a lot of people can't afford so what's wrong with wanting a woman to help you out? Well, she don't need to be dating you then. If you're too broke to date, and I say this for men and women, if you're too broke to date, do not date at all. Because you need to be able to, if you go on a date with a guy, as women, if you go on a date with a dude, and if he chooses not to pay for your meal for whatever reasons, you need to have the money to cover it if he doesn't. Because you got men out here, they're being petty, they're being sassy, they want to be treated like little princesses, which I'm not going to do, because I'm the princess, I'm the queen, and I expect you to treat me like it. If you're not able, you can go away. And no, you don't get to come back. No, we're not going to be friends. Stay the hell out. Sorry, I didn't mean to cuss. Stay the heck out of my DMs. But anyway, that's the attitude that we all need to have. Ladies, protect yourself. It is not your job to pay no man's bills. He better be paying all, if not most of your bills. He better be providing, or you need to send him on your way. Send him, on his way. Have your own stuff, so in case, he decides to get stupid, you're not stuck. So be mindful of the hobosexuals. Do more research. There are many videos out here that let you know what a hobosexual is. There's detail. There's a lot more detail that I didn't cover in this video. But I hope that everything I've said in this video is helpful. Y'all have a wonderful evening.